All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the All Markets webinar. This is Bruce at Bookmap. We'll be going through live order flow in Bookmap, looking for
All right, good morning, everybody.
opportunities in the
Markets.
marketplace and understanding the auction process and how traders are participating in that auction process. And that's where order flow can offer an edge because we can see that. So let's jump in and go through the disclosure for just about 15 or 20 seconds here. A general disclosure, all Bookmap Limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure, trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Okay, sorry there. I was on mute over in Discord, but thanks, Stephen. And good morning, Shark. Happy Monday. All right, let's jump in. Oh, we do have the onboarding webinar tomorrow. If you're new to Bookmap and you want to understand how to connect Bookmap to data and get up and running, we'll go through the process here very, very simply. How to download it, install it, run it, and then add data as well as add symbols and then get up and running. Okay, it is at 2 p.m. East Coast time. So everyone note as well, please, that we are now an hour ahead in the, here's the link for it, that webinar. We are an hour ahead now here in the US compared to the rest of the world. Which will catch up, I think, the end of March, right? So that's when everyone else, I believe, changes over to daylight savings. So that's going to make the London close and everything a little bit different here in the marketplace. It's this odd period. Just be aware of it. All right. So anyway, let's jump into Bookmap and let's take a look and see what's going on here. All right. For 3 weeks. Okay. Yep. Thank you, Alois. So it's end of March or beginning of April. Is that correct? When we're all aligned again. Okay, great. Thank you, Alois. All right. Let's jump in here. All right. So we're looking at the S&P E-mini, and let's look at the bigger picture here. Now, right now, we're at kind of lows of the day, and I'm actually really curious about this range in here. This is our opening range, and you can see that we have broken out or broken down from the opening range here, but I'm looking for all of this to be a potential trap in here, back up into and through the opening range. And then maybe back even to kind of point of control or some sort of mean reversion type of trade in here. So let's look for that opportunity. All right, so opening range, breakout trade actually kind of worked here, as you guys can see. I would be taking my profits in these areas though, and at least taking some, and then I'd probably be stopped out at break even right now. On the opening range breakout trade. Good morning over in YouTube. And all right, so let's see what else we got going on in the markets today. So take a look at the kind of fundamentals and what the week looks like here. We've got CPI on Wednesday. We've got PPI Thursday. Tomorrow we've got the JOLTS job openings, and then on Friday we have not much. Just looks like as at least from what I'm seeing in here. Let me filter this a little bit more. Yeah, actually, kind of besides CPI, it's looking kind of like not much of a week. Fundamentally here. All right, guys. Well, we're going to look for a potential trap here, and Let's see if we get maybe a bit of a breakout and a pullback here. Okay. We're getting more buyers here. I'm going to actually take a shot at that, and let's see if we can continue on through here and try to get the squeeze going. Let's see, where would we be looking to take this? Maybe back up here to point of control. And this would be, our stop would be down here. Okay, we're getting a pullback. And let's see if we can get this squeeze on here. It's a lot of people that, you know, have gotten short in here. We're going to see if they're going to remain in control or not. Okay, pull back. Now, buyers got to come in. There they are, a few. See a bit more. Okay, again, guys, now this is this is trading in simulation. See down here in the lower right-hand corner, trading simulated. This is not a trade recommendation whatsoever, we're just showing how to manage with order flow in mind. Okay, so now we're looking for what these opportunities might look like, and then we always get the question, well, that's great, but how do you get in? How do you get out? How do you manage? All right, and well, that's what we want to demo. Right, so let's see if we can hold this area in here, and let's see if we can get this squeeze going here that we're kind of looking for. Or is this the opening range breakout here that's just going to continue on to the downside? Okay, I really like this idea of this being a trap, and that's kind of what I'm looking at here. Okay, because, and why would I kind of look at that? Well, we have lows of the day. Okay, and we have lots of liquidity getting filled in here. So now we're just looking for those buyers to come in and try to lift it the other way. Okay, because we know that buyers got filled in here. Right, so now we just need the aggressors on the buy side. Taking profit up here actually looks like a good area as well, right around this kind of 88 or maybe 90 up here. Okay, looks pretty good so far. Okay, so initial squeeze, not bad. Pull back already, and let's see if we get another second leg here. Okay, so kind of a small consolidation in here. Still seeing more buyers though. It's so far so good, but we don't know. You know, that's what we're looking for, and then we'll see if the buyers will support it here around this 56.80 level. Morning trading is life. Okay, so chopping around still, chopping around. Sellers coming in, trading back down to this opening range again. And let's see, now the squeeze might be on the buy side here. We are going to see. Okay, higher liquidity at a higher level up here. Bid on the bid, as you can see, so this is a good sign. Let's see here. Okay, they're starting to pull though, that liquidity, so not too good. All right, so we just traded into it. Now let's see what the reaction is after that. and let's see if we can, looks like sellers are going to win this battle. And we might get that opening range continuation here. Okay, stopped out. And they're kind of in the middle of nowhere. Don't have much of an opinion right now. Let's take a look at our bigger picture, and let's see if there's any questions to begin with. Okay, they are bidding up in here. I do like that. We have our supply, or I'm sorry, our demand in here. Know that right here and in here. We never came down below here and traded into that demand, but we do have demand at a higher level in here. Okay, we just don't have the aggressors yet. We thought we had them in here. It petered out basically, and didn't get that mean reversion trade. All right, so let's take a jump back here. We'll take a look at our higher time frame, and I lost my drawings in here from the other day, but boy, we saw something in here on the daily which panned out pretty nicely. I think we marked it up right here. Yeah, this is it. So let me mark it up again. You can go back and look at the recording and look at the exact levels. But this was our rectangle that we had drawn in here before. Hold on a minute. We had drawn it off of this little swing here. That's right. Okay, so from here to here, this was the zone we are looking at on Friday, and trading into that. And we know that typically this in here, this zone, we're looking for buyers out or some profit taking into the zone on the daily, as well as maybe buyers initiating again. Okay, so that worked out pretty well for the day. As you see the candle here, we actually closed up above and had a green day on the daily here. So now we are back down to that area again. So this is not looking good. We are trading back down in here. We need to see if those buyers are going to step back in again or not, or our sellers going to take it back down to the next level, maybe down here around 56.10 maybe, or 34, somewhere in here. Another kind of zone looking at right now on the daily. Right, so that's what I see on the daily, and that's kind of the bigger picture here. Hourly, in the 15-minute here on the right, you can see the gap and go so far to the downside, and so we just made lows again in here. Yep, so yeah, we need to see if this is a continuation. So far, so good. I just see some wicks in here as well. All right, so anyway, are we going to break this range in here and continue on lower? That's what we're looking at. All right, let me see if there's any questions. No, we're good over in Discord and in YouTube. I think we're good as well. Okay. All right. All right, well, that high liquidity in here looks like it transacted as well, and we do see some buying starting to come in. So let's take a look at this in here. This kind of cluster of buying that did break the structure up here, at least. Not this one, but this smaller one. And just kind of chopping around at the moment. Okay, here comes some buying. Okay, back up, top of this range. Yeah, let's look at the relative volume of this area right in here compared to the move to the downside. Okay, so do we see that really big distinction in the buying in here? No, we don't, right? So we're looking for that, and by the aggressor in here. That's what we're looking for over here. Okay, so we don't see it yet, so we're kind of holding off here. We certainly have the high liquidity filled on the way down. Here, let's clear our drawings for a minute here. Okay, so in these areas and pockets in here, we know that that high liquidity is getting filled. We did break the structure in here. We made one more push lower, and let's see. Looking for that difference in the relative volume in here. Okay, and high liquidity targets 80, 88, 92 up here. 82 is right in front of us here, if those buyers are willing to come in. One note on the selling in here, okay, is look where it is. Okay, it's in this zone in here. Most of that. If you look at the volume delta bars and delta dots in here, it's down below this area in here. So we are above it here. So the squeeze can be on. So we just don't see the participation yet by the aggressors. Okay, the market buys in here. So that's what we're looking for, and nothing yet, nothing yet. So a little exhaustion there. Look at again, some buying here, very little in here, nothing at the top. Sellers coming back in. All right, let's put a little more structure in it, and we can look at this here. And look for maybe some support down here. Or are we going to get these sellers come in and really pound this back down into the lows? How many guys out there, just kind of curious, yes, it does seem kind of flat and kind of slow today, Stephen. I'm just kind of curious if I'll put a poll out there, like how many guys are trading like some sort of opening range breakout, or you know, and after the waiting for the first hour, you know, maybe it's initial balance, you know, anything like this. I'm just kind of curious. So I'll add it here in the poll. So yeah, there you go. Do you trade the ORB or the IB? Only IB Duzman. Okay. Okay. So same with you, Alois. Yep. Yeah, just kind of get a feel for what you guys are looking at, or anyone just trading the open momentum, basically, as well. Yeah, here's our. This is draw up the. Opening range in here. All right. Well, if we just take a step back here and let's take a look at the cash open in here. Still, most of the volume is to the downside in here, below the opening range, or this back and forth in here. Again, a nice kind of tranche of selling right here, but it's pretty back and forth in here. And we also know the bid has been pretty strong in these areas in here. So the question is, are we going to see that aggressive supply come in here and trade through all of the limit buys down in these areas in here? Okay, we already know that they have traded with a lot of them in here. So how much more selling pressure do they have? That's what we want to ascertain here. Okay, so just traded into another high area of liquidity. Okay, so what happens after that? Okay, so do we see the buyers really come in here hand over fist? No, we do not. Okay, not better, better now. Yep, starting to pick up a little bit. Let's see. Okay, a lot better now. All right, let's see if we can grab this maybe on a pullback. Oh God, that was an error. Okay, so let's try that again. Actually, we got kind of lucky on that. Yeah, they've really got to show up in here right now. Buyers. All right, let's see if they do or not. If they not, then we're going lower here. Yeah, still no clarity in this one here. We're looking for that strength of the buyers, which is not bad here, but we're right back to where it kind of initiated. So here comes some selling, and there we go. Okay, so lows of the day. Triple witching, yeah, that's a good question here. Let's take a look at that, Floyd. Just a second. Okay, so what you're asking about We'll look at the contract spec here for the volume and open interest for the S&P E-mini. Click on this from the CME group, and let's take a look here and see how this is changing and flowing here. So we still have, quite a bit still trading here, quite a bit more on the March contract. So we got a ways to go here. Wow. All right, let's take a look at this bigger picture in here. I was not anticipating this kind of weakness after some of the fundamentals, or this kind of waffling from Trump's side about some of the tariffs. So our next level to trade down to is here. Like that. Okay, more selling coming through, flush through here. It's going to be a real nice stop run in here. Let's put our stops and icebergs on the chart. Guys, any other instruments, any stocks you want to take a look at? Anything in here? Just kind of curious, jumping around into some different instruments. Put our stops and icebergs on the chart, and let's jump back to the ES. There we go. All right, let's see this very high liquidity. Okay, we just traded through it. Very high liquidity there. And let's see now. See the reaction after. We're back up above it here. Now, this is where we could see that kind of mean reversion type of trade here. And the timing, market timing is just about right. So let's see if we can get this in here. Okay, chopping around, and no, just not enough interest. All right, if we get a retest back up in here with some buying pressure, now let's do it. We'll take a shot at it there. And looking for that big squeeze that we've been looking for. We do have some things on our side to justify this. Now, again, this is only in simulation, demo, paper trading mode, but we've got the time of day. We know that a lot of liquidity is getting filled on the way down here. And on the bid, so a lot of buyers were at lows on the higher time frame, and then we're just looking to see if we can get kind of catch the potential mean reversion trade at this time of day. Okay, and we're looking for that buying pressure to pick up in here. Okay, and then get that squeeze what we're looking for here. And we saw something in here starting to pick up after the flush through here as well. That is another aspect. Okay, back up again and finding more buyers in here. Okay, so we want this to gain a little more traction in here. We've got a lot of things kind of going for us here. It is really just reliant on now the aggressors. Either this will work, they come in and we start to get the squeeze we're looking for, or there's just not enough. And that's what we're gonna wait for the follow through here on that. We saw some of it in here. We saw some of it earlier, and we did get a little bit of a move, and then it came back in and reversed. So now we're looking for that same thing. All right, let's just exit this here. We'll give it one more shot just to this swing right here. And this is probably not going to work. Yeah, we're out. Okay, we'll look for the next one potentially. That's not what we're looking for. Let's go back to our bigger picture in here. Yeah, we're just kind of in this no man's land, right in here. Like we are at lows here. That's what I'm, that's why we're looking for the potential squeeze in here. Let's see if we can, we need to see that distinction. And, both times we've got some of the details in the setup. We're just waiting for the follow through on the buy side. Okay, and if it doesn't follow through, we're out and look for the next one. Or we can look for a sell side in here at the bottom of this little range in here. And if we get those sellers who come in really hand over fist, we're going to go to lows here. Now let's try it. We'll give it a sell side shot here and look for maybe 56.50 down here. And we might get caught up in the squeeze here. Yeah, it's risky with the time of day here for that squeeze. If we do see buyers up in here, and we're really looking for, the reason that I got in here on this one was I did not see the distinction in that buy side in here. I started to see some sellers in here. So for that reason, now if we do see those buyers come in, then it's on. We'll reverse. And we probably, if we get down here a little more selling, we can probably even add to it. Now there's the move. All right, kind of whipped it away from there. All right, this is not worth the risk. Okay, so just watching this bottom edge in here at around 60 or so, and trying to get a feel for these aggressors in here. What are they interested in doing? And nothing yet. There's more sellers. Looks like it wants to push lower. And there we go. All right, so let's see if we can get this then and try to catch that one to the downside and then we'll cover here at 50. Okay, so the idea here is not to get squeezed, but looking at that higher time frame in here and this kind of no man's land in here, looking for the follow through to the downside into where there might be buyers down here. That's what we're kind of looking for. Okay, we can add to that. And let's see here. Pretty choppy little range. No follow through. All right, this is a tough read for me on this. So it looks like that relative buying is starting to come back in now, and yeah, we're caught up in it here. So let's again exit this, and let's look for the follow through from one side or the other here. Got this iceberg in here following along in the on the bid here. Only 18 filled so far. What is the significance of where this iceberg is? Well, it's just basically you can see it's an algo, and it's just following the price action. Okay, and then when it determines like there's some sort of edge, it will stop moving around like this. Okay, but what it is showing though is that there is interest. We don't know how many are contracts are within this iceberg. We just know how much has transacted so far. Okay, NQ. I do have the NQ up, Floyd. Microsoft. Yeah, I've got that up as well. We can take a look at that. Let's jump over to Microsoft here. Take a look. Okay, so Microsoft just looks like it's ready to trade into a big level here at 82. And the relative volume, you're starting to see some of it come in here, but this is clearly in a downtrend still. Yeah, we'd need to see this trend here. We need to see the buying come back up above that trend level, or we need to see a structure break on some significant buy volume, basically. Okay, we can jump over the NQ as well. Snuggy Boo. So let's jump over to it, the Trader Map Pro version here. Okay, we're below 600 here on the NQ. Okay, and at lows of the day here. There's some buying, a little flurry coming in. Okay, high liquidity just filled here in the NQ. And still going lower. Still going lower. All right, so our Microsoft should be, no, it did not trade into 82 yet. Just about to, looks like. And how's our ES doing? Okay. And let's go to our higher time frame again. So yeah, just don't have a feel for it on this higher time frame in here. I mean, really, we'd be waiting for this level or trading down to this level in here. Just time of day and a lot getting filled on the bid on the way down here, and starting to see some of these clusters of buying has kind of got us looking for that possible squeeze here. Yeah, sellers continue to drive it lower here. And our level on the higher time frame would be somewhere around 38. Okay, so yep. And gold, take a look at gold. Sure. What contract are we on with gold? It's always a little weird with gold. Okay, we're on the J contract. All right. We can also check in here, go to help and symbols guide. We'll bring that up here for us. And J is the April contract right here. Okay, so just in case you guys want to check on that, we can come back in and add it now. We'll go with Rhythmic, and we're going to go with Comex, and we will go with GCJ5. And we'll add about 3 hours. Okay, how's our Microsoft? Okay, it traded. Oh wow, it broke. Not only 82. Okay, so we're seeing a big drop here. Kind of missed that one. Let's see here. We just traded into 50 here in the ES. Okay, NQ is going to be pretty. That's going to be a pretty big drop. Not really. Okay, it's much more about this just being Microsoft here. Okay. And wow, missed that. Just getting kind of ready for it, the 380 here. But I'll have to wait for it now. Jump back to gold. How does gold look? All right. Okay, a lot of divergence. Look at the CVD here in gold, due to some of that selling. I'm sorry, some of that buying in here. But failing more buying and failing to get up into the previous swing up here, and that's not looking too good. Wow, 55,000 shares down here in 380 in Microsoft. Wow, there's a flush through there. And continuation. Interesting. Okay, so gold did make an equal high here. Did make it up there. All right, guys. This is a potential low volume pullback trade here, a little bit higher time frame, but the one thing that um, we can see the structure here where it broke down from 56 or so, and look at the volume here on the buy side compared to the sell side. Okay. Now that said, the squeeze is on if we get back up above here on some buying. Okay, so and we're starting to, yeah, it looks like it's on. I actually like I like this, and I would look for this to continue here. See if we can kind of find a way into this. Now let's come retrace all the way back down here. All right, let's give it a shot here. Okay, there's the squeeze. There's some stops being triggered. Okay, now this one, where are we going to go with it here? Top of the range up here, high liquidity in here with the kind of developing point of control here around 67 or so, or top of this range in here as well. You can look for maybe taking some off up here. I mean, enough strength in here to at least come up and test into this area here. That's what I'm kind of looking for. Yeah, the buy strength is good. We're coming back up. Okay, looking for just a bit higher here. And we can kind of inch out of a little bit. May even consider just moving it on up to this swing and this liquidity here. Okay, well, the squeeze is set. It is set here. Is we can just get enough buyers in here to push that. And let's zoom out a little bit more. Okay. This is our opening range. Okay, back up to maybe retest that area too. All right, so yeah, some exhaustion there on this little move up here and a little bit of buying now. It's not looking good, actually. More selling at these areas here, so this might fail. But we're going to kind of give it a little bit of a wait here and see if this back and forth in here, if those buyers do decide to come in and squeeze. Okay, we got higher liquidity down here at 55, which might be we might get a pullback to there. Got some structure down there where we broke out from. Guys, not nice reads in here. This was looking pretty good, but the flow here, the sellers coming in can't make a higher high in here on the sell side, buy side. So, and more selling at a lower low in here, so it's not looking good. It's really just going to be if we get this kind of big pop in here by these buyers, and then that squeezes on. And let's see if we do get that. We are starting to see that it come back up here, but now we got to see the follow through here on the buy side. It really has to follow through. Okay, and if so, you know, boy, I mean, we can even get in another one in here and then look for a pretty big squeeze or pretty big move in here. Okay, it's kind of a risky, again, not a trade recommendation, but how would we manage this here? We'll get out if it comes back down below the swing here. It has to play out. It has to get the pop and hit high liquidity up in these areas in here. That would be the target to scale out of a few. Boy, I still like it. I mean, if it's traded back up here again, and right now it's like sellers are going to they're going to have to turn into buyers, and we're looking for that trap and that short squeeze. The structure looks good. Just this is really the critical area right here, right now at 67. And that's not what we're looking for here. Exhaustion like that. I mean, we did have time and acceptance up in here, but you see the selling come right back in now. Okay, another rotation back up to 67. So we're getting another shot at this. And let's see if we get it here. It's looking pretty good. Now we need to start triggering some of those stops. Yeah, we got a low volume node in here too. It's filling in a little bit, but I got to get through it. So it's this developing point of control in here that just might turn into point of control. That's kind of the risk here as well. Just caught up in the chop, and all right, a little bit of buying here, but just kind of in this range in here, and not seeing any follow through. I mean, boy, it's going to be a beautiful squeeze if we can get up here, though. That's for sure. It just doesn't seem to be buying interest up at the top of the range here, though. Okay, back up to 67. Another rotation up here. I want to see it eat right through that 70 level and through it on big buying in here. Okay, some stops being triggered a little bit there, 20 as you can see. Okay, it looks like it filled some of that liquidity. Guys, I'm really, you know, we're just kind of stuck in this range in here. I just don't see these buyers really turning it on in here, at least not yet. You know, we're looking for that, and that's what will be the kind of create that domino effect in here with the stops. Okay, here we go again. And it just it just peters out right up there, right? So this transacted up here. We see more buyers up here again, but just not getting the follow through whatsoever. All right, so we're going to get out of this here, and we can always get back in if we start to see it again. Okay, we're getting that another rotation up here, but we're just look at the angle in here, look at the buying in here, and then we got this is pretty nice in here, yet it just didn't follow through. And so here we go again. Now let's see if they really pick it up in here. Right, else this is going to turn into that double distribution kind of day, or triple distribution here. And maybe continuation to the downside. You should be able to, Matt, see. I mean, this is just the S&P E-mini futures, so if, should be able to track it wherever. This is one of the most traded instruments on the planet. Let's take a look at gold. All right, so gold again here, very, very choppy in here. It also failed to break out, as you can see. We can jump back to Microsoft. Microsoft traded, so we did get this kind of a bit of after, wow, it actually traded through 80 down to 79, and then we're starting to find some of those buyers come back in. Shawshank, how am I so there's two different things we look for in the context here in the order flow. Understanding the passive and aggressive supply and demand. Okay, and what I mean by passive means supply and demand means the limit orders in here. So these are resting limit orders that traders are lined up at these areas in here in the heat map. Okay, there's a lot of liquidity at these, especially in stocks. You can see at the round numbers. Larger players typically put a lot of liquidity or limit buy orders around those round numbers. And that is the passive demand. Now, the aggressive demand is the market buy orders. Okay, that's the green dots that will lift price, or the market sell orders that would be the aggressive supply hitting the bid and moving price lower. Right. So so let me back up and go through it again. Okay, so the passive demand is the limit buys in these areas in here. The aggressive demand is the green dots, the market buys that lift and move price to the upside. Okay, now passive supply would be limit sell orders above in these areas in here, and waiting to get filled in these areas here. They want to be sellers up in here. And then the aggressive supply, which is the market sell orders hitting into the liquidity. Okay, the green or the red dots here that take price lower. And this is a context between those two elements and the market structure. Okay, so when you look at swings, or you look at big figures, or you look at trend lines, or you look at a pattern, or it might be a Fibonacci level. It could be, whatever it is that you look for in your higher time frames. That's what in terms of the structure. I try to go very conservatively with market structure, looking at areas of consolidation and breakout and breakdowns. That's it. And mark those up. And then we're looking for liquidity and the transactions, the aggressor volume around those areas, and that's it. Now that's kind of fundamentals here in this course, or I'm sorry, in this webinar, is going through those 3 elements on the Bookmap chart and understanding that context. Okay, and the other webinars that we have with many other traders out there, many other partners, they look at different things. Like for Tom B, for example, is going to be looking at, he's a volume profile trader. He's going to be looking at his profiles. He's going to be looking at that as being market structure in his auction process. Okay, so it's really up to you. That's why we want to cover the basics in here, you can use those basics for any style of trading. All right, so that's how we're kind of gauging strength, is by understanding the context of those 3 elements. All right, so let's jump back here and let's look at the ES and look at the strength in here. So the strength is, well, you can see the sellers here, more selling, okay, moving to the downside. Now that context, though, we've been looking at, and it's been a little confusing today because of a lot of liquidity getting filled on the way down. Right, so we know that we see the transactions into those areas, and then we do see some buying starting to, little pockets starting to come back in, and then that's where we're looking for another thing is time of day, and then we're looking for the a reversal in that time of day. Right, so just those elements basically. Right, so anyway, the strength here, well, after trading into below or from 55 on down to 50, you can see the the relative strength in here. Okay, there's more sellers here, aggressive sellers, true. Okay, but we know that a lot of buyers got filled in here with the liquidity, and now look at this area here. Okay, so in fact, this is where you can start making some trading decisions. In fact, we're just going to jump in on that and look for the move back up here to the top of this range, and then the potential move on up further. Because look what we have here. We have we know there's a lot of selling hitting into this liquidity here. We saw that kind of buying come back in, right? And now we've retested down here, and we're finding buyers again here at 55. So our structure is holding. All right, and we see we have on the bid here, there's more buyers, passive demand here, and now we're looking at the aggressive demand come in away from that area. So I'm looking for it to retest back up to the top edge here. Right, makes sense. Now we have the potential as well. We're going to be prepared for it. To trade into and maybe through and break the top edge here. Okay, well, we're just looking for a move to the top edge right now. That's it. Okay, and maybe this liquidity at 70, but we're going to be a little bit in front of it here. Okay, now this is on Friday, we're hitting singles. This is a little bit bigger. We're looking at kind of a little bit higher time frame structures in here. In fact, let's take a look here. Let's do a measured move of this little range right here that we just talked about. Right, and then I'm going to make a measured move out of that. Where might we go if we do get back up above there? Okay, will we come back up to maybe this low volume node up in here, or this structure right here? Okay, and maybe that's a good place to have some trade management and then get out another position. And then our third position, are we in 3? Yeah, we're in 3. We could also look for getting out up here in front of the figure or the high volume node and the liquidity up here as well. So somewhere up in here. right? We would be looking for managing it as well. Okay, so and that would be the setup in here. All right, now the question is, can we get out of this range in here? We're looking for that potential, and we just covered why I think that, well, if I look now in hindsight, okay, we're above the selling in here. That's good. We can squeeze them, but this buying in here is still not that strong. You know, look at the relative buying in here, right? We have some up here, which is good, but we need to see it in here. Okay, now we really need to see it now. Okay, we need to see them really pick it up in here. We have the potential for it. Okay, and we're prepared for that move. Okay, so all right, so we just got out one contract, just in front of that high liquidity up here. Okay, kind of the top of that range there. Okay, now that we're back up here again, and see that let's do this kind of relative volume again in here. So this move to the downside, look at the selling in here, and compared to the buying in here. So that gives me a little bit of hope that, I know that there's more buyers lifting it. Okay, so and we traded to the top of the range. Okay, I'm looking for them to break it though. And we keep hacking around in here. The one thing is, okay, the selling down here is kind of trapped though. See what I mean? Again here, if we look at where that selling came in, it's down here. Okay, and we're above that area. So any sellers in here, they're at a loss now. And we want to see if we can get back up to the top of this range, and any sellers in this whole range in here is going to have to cover. Okay, and that's the trap that we're kind of looking for, and looking for that fuel from the buy side to lift it up into our areas and our targets. Okay, we haven't had much luck yet on this here. So we keep getting up into these areas here, and we just don't find enough buyers when they take it outside of this range. Okay, and we're still struggling on that here, as you can see. And we're just, we're not finding them up here. Okay, now can we though? If we don't, we're just going to exit. Yeah, and again, it looks like we'll give it to just about here, and at 61, 62 here, and then that's it. Okay, if we don't see the buyers come in right here, then we're just out again, right? Gave it a shot. Yeah, to me, the way that this is behaving in here, like either we're going to get this squeeze up here, and if we don't, like this is going to be the new point of control down in this area in here, or high volume area. It's interesting. I mean, like up in this area up in here is very similar to what Another volume profile trader, I think he was on earlier today, Charles from Pirate Traders. He was noticing in the profile several weeks ago that we just, on the higher time frame, we just weren't finding buyers up at the higher levels. There was just no interest, and we would find buyers come back in buying the dips, but then they would take it up to the top of the range, just kind of like what we've been seeing in here, and they just don't follow through. And then so we keep on rotating lower, and then like some of the look, fundamental news or not, about the tariffs or whatever, they were not buying. We did not find people trading at higher levels and taking price higher, and instead they were starting to trade lower and more transactions lower, and then we broke. Okay, so that would be something like in here, up in these areas, up in here. That was the auction. We just weren't finding buyers up in this zone up in here on the daily, and due to that, we found the sellers coupled with some fundamental data that has allowed sellers to take control and move price into these lower areas in here. Okay, so now interestingly enough, we're back up here yet again. And let's see if we get our follow through in here on that buy side. Okay, we're looking for a pretty big stop run in here. We have 200, but I'm looking for like 500, 600 to be stopped out here on a big squeeze to the upside here. Okay, and we have the potential for it. So let's see. It's we got to end the webinar. I'm going to hold on to this and see if we get some follow through, and we can follow up tomorrow, same time, and see if we get this big squeeze that we were looking for. But we've got Tom B up next, volume profile trader, and the education here at Bookmap continues on. Okay, so we did get filled up here on our second position, but we do have our one more way up here. We need to get through this volume node in here, and now you can see we also have some new information in here as well. Look at the wall of liquidity up in here. Okay, so we need to see buyers, like how many aggressive buyers are interested in transacting into these areas of high liquidity up in here. Okay, so we had another little squeeze here for 94, and that's been it so far. And again, like I'm looking for this in here, but let's just zoom out a little bit and look at the this relative buying in here. Okay, it's not all that great. It's not all that great. Okay, so we continue to rotate back and forth here. All right, the buyers are picking it up. They're starting to move. See how it's moving price now? So we've got a little bit more interest in here. Let's see if we can flush through into this whole area in here, and let's see what the reaction is going to be. Anyway, let's follow up tomorrow on that. Looking for that follow through. But we'll leave you with that, guys. Thanks for coming. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, and we'll go through it. All right. Thanks for coming, everybody. Bye-bye. It's starting to go. We'll follow up tomorrow. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.